Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Glendale Commission on the Status of Women. Actually, I should rephrase that. It's a special meeting because our regularly scheduled meeting was last Monday, November 11th, and it was Veterans Day. Our meetings are open to the public and can be viewed on local cable, Charter Cable Channel 6, and AT&T UVerse Channel 99. The meeting can also be viewed online at www.glendaleca.gov by scrolling all the way to the bottom of the page and selecting live streaming, which is the third icon from the left. Members of the public are welcome to provide public comments and questions in person or can call in during the meeting at 818-937-8100. City staff will submit these questions and comments in real time to the appropriate person during the Commission on the Status of Women meeting. May I have roll call, please?
Commissioners Broussalian,
Here.
Khajoyan,
Here.
Chair Lambalot,
Yes.
Tatians,
Present.
ex officio Hovhannissian, ex officio Veselinov.
Here.
Thank you. Next item, please.
The agenda for November 18, 2024 special meeting of the Commission on the Status of Women was posted on November 15, 2024 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Introductions and presentations. A, presentation by Melanie Zarabian, Director, Tinker Club.
Welcome. Happy to have you here.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me. My name is Melanie Zorabian. I am the director of Tinker Club. Tinker Club is a STEM education company that provides education to the young learners ages 4 to 14 in science, technology, engineering, and math. Next slide, please. And the mission of the company is to develop critical thinking and logical thinking in the young learners, whereas when they grow up, they can make the right decision for themselves. So the ultimate goal is to have a society of the people who can analyze and make the right decision for themselves. And science is a tool that we use to trigger this logical thinking and also boost them with their self-confidence and public speaking throughout the sessions. Next slide, please. So as mentioned, nurturing the inner curiosity is how guide the whole program, and also we tackle the social emotional skills and teach them the ethic, how to work in a group, how to present their solution to the different problems that they encounter throughout the every week session that they have. Next slide, please. We are happy to mention that we collaborate and we have partnership with Glendale Unified School Districts to bring STEM education to public families, and we also partner with Glendale Youth Alliance to provide the job opportunity for our high schoolers, for college students, and they get their resume published and ready to enter to the job market. Next. The services are like hands-on science, as you can see in picture, from the young learners, like first graders, second, and all the way to elementary, like sixth graders. Next slide. This is a sample of coding and robotic projects that these young kids are doing by making the constructive materials themselves. Next. And the older kids, like fourth and fifth grader, we call them older, which they are not, they combine different components of STEM, like 3D design and robotic electronics, to build a simple prototype of the like gadgets that is familiar, like the traffic light, for example. They make out of like very simple material, but it actually work like an actual traffic light. And also there's a different version of the robotic for the young learners, which is a Lego based. Our clients are public and private schools, education entities, Glendale Unified School Districts, PTA, charter schools, educational entities, and community centers. We are happy to that we served up to 7,000 students here in Glendale, and the largest group that we serve is 250 students per week during our summer camps. And how do we support the public? Tinker Club offers pop-up events throughout the year. And we also partner with Glendale City through Glendale Tech Week since 2019, 2023, 2024. And this has become a tradition for us to run a STEM family evening open to all, where the families are competing with other participant families in a science project. So the goal is, next slide. The goal is to build family bonding, create quality time, and also mental health of the families, where the kids appreciate their parents of the support, and also parents get surprised of how critical and creative their kids can be in order to solve a problem. So one of the samples, there is a short video on the right, if you can play please, that's how families are get together and they have to make a tower based only from paper that can hold a can of soup. The tallest and stable tower is the winner. So if I hope. Oh, really? Even in the PowerPoints? Oh, I would show you like the excitements that they have, and I wish. Yes, try. Oh my God, then none of the videos would work because we have 3. Okay, so this is a traditional like a fun STEM event for the Glendale resident and also the neighborhood areas. The other event, if you go to next slide, is the annual egg drop event, which is in the park. And again, it's in the form of a competition, but in a fun way, where they are making a small structure that can save a raw egg from dropping from a drone, like it can be different levels, and it brings a lot of joy to the families, and we enjoy having over 150 people attending our annual events, yes. And also another partnership is for us, and we are happy to have it with the Glendale Library to support and provide STEM events and introducing STEM to our families through the workshops that we are running. And I'm so sorry that the videos are not working. It would be really fun to see how that the caterpillar is crawling and climbing down the stairs. And it's really interesting for them when they build it in 1 hour or 90 minutes workshop and actually put it into work. And we are so happy to mention that this year, for the first time, Tinker Club participated in first Lego League robotic competition in the 2 teams of girls and boys. And our girls team won first place in the first round, and our boys were in 3rd place. And when I mentioned this, everybody is asking for clarification, like who won the first team? And I have to mention proudly that yes, our girls were the first place. And this is and now both teams are up for the regional competition in December here in La Cañada. This competition is a well-known global competition which is running around the globe, and at the first level they are it's between the LA County teams, and now that they are up, they're gonna have some other county top teams competing with LA County top teams. So we are so excited for the upcoming competition, and after that is a championship which is going into all California. And the team is in a good status. Let's go to next slide, please. And our boys are also won Motive Awards for expressing their enthusiasm and interest for other team projects, and curious to know what they have done to learn from other teams, and so open to learn from their peers. Next. And the reason that the Tinker Club decides to attend to this competition is to encourage the kids in robotics, give them opportunity to present, to do a research, to have a actual public speaking experience, and also to get them motivated that they have to a little bit work harder and to see themselves among other young kids who are interested in the same field as they are. And well, from all the students that we have, only 5% are girls. And we try to place every girl student that we get into a class that at least there is another girl. We want to build that bonding, build that social skills, to build that they feel home, and give them opportunity regardless of their language skills, regarding of coding skills. We want them to give the opportunity to be in the robotic team. And we are happy to say that in this 7-8 kids in this girl team, we have language learners, we have newcomers, and we have those who are very new in the coding, but they build so close bonding with other teammates, and they complete each other in a very unique way that we are happy to see their growth. And next slide, please. we never focus on the outcome to go in the competition. Meantime, we were just wanted to give them opportunity to be really doing the research and present in English in a setting that is very diverse, and you can be anyone in there and see their skills compared to the others. And I'm ready to answer any question that you have.
Thank you so much. We'll open it to questions, but I understand you attended the city's Women's Equality Day event?
Correct.
That's great. Great. Wonderful. Okay. Any comments or questions?
I have some comments. Well, first of all, I know Ms. Arabian personally. Our daughters have gone to school together, and my older daughter, Emily, has worked as a summer counselor at Tinker Club. And one of the things she told me is how much the little girls appreciated having a girl teacher and how much they looked up to her, especially one girl who had glasses. And she said, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. It was very, very sweet.
Yes.
And every day she would come home and show me all these pictures of these kids and all the stuff they were making. I'm really excited about the girls' robotic team, and I'm excited what you're doing with it. What's the age group for the girls? How can they join? Is it, do the parents have to pay a financial portion for them to join to compete? Can you tell us a little bit more about the team, what the ages are, and will you be continuing this in the years to come? Because it looks like this is the first year. Will the same team continue? Will you be getting new teams?
Right. This is the first year that we contributed. All the girls, the age level that they're competing is 9 to 14, but our girls are 9 to 12, the oldest. And this is the we have different variety from different folks of the life, and all from Glendale resident. And I'm so proud to mention that being one time participating in such a big competition, and this is the first Armenian robotic team that went to the competition ever and won the first prize. And regarding the financial things, we really wanted to support as much as we can, and the parents are contributing to the budget to cover their robotic meetings for any resources that they provided for them. Tinker Club also set a budget to support these kids by providing, they're tripling the services that we are doing. They used to give once a week, and now they're meeting 3 times a week. So we triple our services without extra charge on the families because we don't want to overwhelm anyone. Also, we purchase so many other equipments that they can use for extra practices and multiple robots that they can work with. And still, the girls have a long way to go. We need to support them, continue to support them, and the fund is exhausted. They need to bring on board a specialist to work on their English presentation, English language, and how they need to speak, and they need to go through that training as well as their continuous meeting to shine again.
Thank you for all this information that you provided to us. And I heard that the financial, it's coming from the family. But did you try to get any grant for this? Because you are providing for 7,000 almost students, and all these activities need.
No, we have never applied for a grant offer. It's very new to us. No, we have never applied. And this just a clarification, the 7,000 is throughout the 6 years of company. Yes, in place. It's not annually, but like annually we are covering 3,000 to 4,000 kids, and including the public schools and elementary schools that we are going during the school hours, not after school. So it's not funded by the families. It's during the PTA or kind of
Activities.
funded. Yes, GUSD.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Is this offered throughout the year or just in the summertime, or?
It's throughout the year. The classes are throughout the year.
Okay.
And the robotic team, it started in early September. And because this is how the organization worked, that they released the theme late August, and September is when you find the families after coming back from the vacations and the school starts. So the team starts meeting early September, and they have only 3 months to get ready for the competition. And when they succeed, like us, we go to the next round, which is cross counties, like come from other counties, and it is in December 15.
Is this after school program, or is it during school?
We have different, like let's say, projects with GUSD. We offer during the school for the entire schools. Let's say TK to sixth graders, if their administration wants hands-on science, to have like kind of visual learning alongside with whatever their teacher is covering. So we customize the lesson plan based on the curriculum and also work with closely with the teachers and administration to come up with a plan-based fit with their needs. Some schools, they would like something new, like introducing robotics to kids. So that's how we, let's say, come up with a customized robotic plan for the entire schools. And after schools are different, but we normally not doing a lot of after schools. It's during the school and also our center, which is open to the public, and it's afternoon. And yes, in the center, the families are funding.
Where's the center?
It's on Lewis, Glendale.
On Lewis.
117 South Lewis.
107. And how do you think we can get more girls to get involved? Because you only have 5% girls. How do you think we can motivate the girls to want to get interested in?
Honestly,
because this is
that's a
great.
very good question, and I think we need to get the different ideas to see if which one can work. Because based on our experience, even during this camp, it was a robotic camp, and we had the flyer, big cooking, baking, and a tiny robotic in the underneath. I had 18 boys, 1 girl. And I had to convince my daughter to like, you know what, you need to come because we have one girl. I mean, you need to come anyway. I know you have done this program before. This is not new, but I want you to be there. So I don't know. But that's why I'm saying one of the things is that we try not to overwhelm our families who are already bringing the girls to kind of work and make it fun, make it enjoyable, make it a group bonding, because girls really like the socializing, and this is how they learn, also get involved in a group activities. Maybe I don't know. I mean, families are coming with 2 kids, 1 boy, 1 girl. They said, "Oh, I'm interested to have a trial for my son," and I'm like, "Okay, but you can have trial for both of them, and it's free."
So when you're advertising it at the school, do you have? Is it a flyer or like a boy and a girl in the flyer?
No. The flyer is a diverse picture if it is a flyer. But these kind of things that we go during the school hours, there is no flyer, because when the school administration wants this program, every child gets it. It's not by choice. So everyone gets exposed to science, everyone gets exposed to the same experiments that is developed. So it's actually, we go inside the classroom while they have their teacher in there, and once a week, like 45 minutes to 1 hour, they do the hands-on and project-based learning parallel with whatever they have learned.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if you have a flyer with a little girl, you know, in the flyer, more girls will want to get involved. I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah, that's everything. Yeah, that's a valid thought.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have you done any fundraising for the girls' team?
No.
Whether locally, through businesses?
No, we haven't. We haven't, actually. It was just a contribution of our generous parents and also the Tinker Club that funded.
Thank you for what you do. And I wish I was a little girl so I could do it. This sounds really fun.
Yeah, the reason that it's come up to maybe go through the email with Ms. Arman was that through the Equity Day, that all is about the survey that you have done for Armenian status, the status of the women, and then that was a shocking survey, and like maybe whatever I'm seeing, that 5% and that kind of a little welcoming is very matching with the result you have. And yes, all of us, I guess, we need to do whatever we can in our scope and make it better, a lot better.
Yes, thank you, Chair Lambalot. I just want to say again a huge thank you for coming here and for the work that you're doing. And I want to uplift something that the chair also said, which is the series of events that got you to present here today, right, was our community outreach as the city by having events in the community. And so it really does show that outreach matters, because that is where we meet the community, where we meet people in community organizations, and where the city can learn about what is needed. Secondly, we're very happy that we can provide this opportunity for you to speak and spread awareness about your message. Part of what the commission does is allow community organizations that advance women and girls' lives in the city of Glendale really have a platform that they wouldn't have otherwise. And so we want to encourage other organizations also to come do this and for you to stay in partnership with us. I will just say, hearing the comments around what can be done, purely as staff, as someone who comes from an expertise around women and women's studies, there are very real barriers to entry for women and girls in STEM. And so I want to also say on behalf of the city to really thank you for what you're doing, because part of how we do it better is by getting the message out and stopping the stigma, right, around what it means to be a woman in these fields and to do this type of work. So I think part of what we're doing right now is hoping to address, like you're saying, how do we get more girls? It's by building that community, and that's exactly what you all are doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Also, I'd like to thank you very much for the presentation, for what you do. Also, I'd like to mention that you commented on the Armenian supplement to the report on the status of women and girls, which we're extremely proud of, and it was really a joint effort. It took a lot of extra work, primarily on Dr. Arman's and Dr. Abajian's part. We worked with Mount St. Mary's, and it's the first of its kind in the U.S., so we're happy that you referenced that and had found it useful, although the results are not really what you wanted. But it's good to have the information.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, next item, please.
Next item, 3B, recognition of Armine Perian, former CSW Commissioner.
Chair Lambolat, I'd like to invite former CSW Commissioner Armine Perian to the podium. Armine Perian has served on the Commission on the Status of Women for many years, and we would like to honor you as an outgoing commissioner. So I'd like to begin by presenting you with a certificate of appreciation from my office, from the City Clerk's office.
Thank you so much.
And so let me read, the certificate says, this certificate of appreciation is presented to Armine Perian in recognition of your service and commitment as a member of the Commission on the Status of Women in the City of Glendale. Through your leadership, you have contributed to initiatives that uplift and empower women and girls, ensuring a brighter future for all. Thank you for your many years of service, and now I would like to give the mic to Chair Lambolat to make a comment.
Yes, I'm sure we would all like to comment. I personally would like to say thank you very much. It's been a pleasure working with you,
Likewise.
serving with you, and appreciate everything you've done and your collaboration and your efforts and your energy.
My pleasure. I'd like to say a few words, if I may. First of all, I would like to thank Paula Devine for appointing me to the commission. And second, I'd like to thank the city staff, past and present, for your support during the years that I served on the commission. I also would like to thank my fellow commissioners for your collaboration. I've sincerely cherished the relationships we have forged, and I genuinely hope that we can continue our friendships throughout many, many years. It really has been an honor and a privilege to have served the commission and our community. I think I've been on the committee since 2015, so almost 9 years. I thank you. I thank you for this recognition as well. Again, it has been truly an honor.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to say a few words?
It's been lovely getting to know you, and best of
Likewise.
luck in all that you do, and come back and visit.
I'd love to. I'd love to.
Thank you, Armine. We met, what, 5 years ago? And
Yes.
we just hit it off, and
That's right.
it was great. So
I
thank you.
look forward to continued friendships.
Thank you, Armine. Thank you.
Thank you, Armine. It was nice seeing you and we work together. and we learn a lot from each other. Wishing
Truly.
you good luck.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So don't leave yet. We have a little something for you, and we're going to
Oh
take a
my,
photo.
this is- Okay.
No, we have some flowers for you, and
Oh.
we'd like to take a picture with you with the certificate of recognition. So,
I love Kris Kringles.
we also have a small gift.
Oh my goodness, really? This
It's
is
very, very small. From my office. So if we can take the picture here. So we can give you as well.
This is also for you.
All right. Should I hold this?
You know what? I can just put it right here for you.
You're like, okay. Where do we go? Wonderful. Oh, I'm glad to see that. Here, okay. You're welcome. I think two of you wearing burgundy. That's great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, this is really heavy. Christmas Kris Kringles, right?
You want to slip this in there? Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's have coffee soon. Okay. Okay, thank you. Next item, please.
Next item 4, oral communications. Madam Chair, we do not have any speaker cards or callers.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item, consent items. The only item in consent is the approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting held on August 12, 2024.
Okay, any comments or questions about the minutes? Was everybody here present last time? You were not, that's right, okay. So you will abstain, yeah,
Did you
okay.
view the minutes?
I did.
Excuse me, did you view the recording?
I did not. I reviewed the minutes.
I see, okay.
Any comments or questions? Okay, do we have a motion?
I motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Commissioners Busalian,
Yes.
Ojayan,
Yes.
Tatians, Chair Lambalot.
Yes. Thank you. On to the next item, please.
Action items. A, consideration of event in recognition of International Women's Day. 1, motion to approve an ad hoc committee to plan an event in March 2025 for International Women's Day and set a not-to-exceed amount for the cost of the event.
Chair Lambalot, I would like to ask Dr. Armin to provide the staff report for this item.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We are very happy to discuss the issue of International Women's Day. Staff respectfully recommends that the Commission on the Status of Women provide direction regarding a potential event for International Women's Day in March 2025 and consider appointing members to an ad hoc committee to plan an event. International Women's Day, recognized globally on March 8th, is a day to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality. International Women's Day has occurred for well over a century, with the first International Women's Day gathering occurring in 1911. Today, International Women's Day belongs to all groups collectively everywhere and is not specific to any group, organization, or country. Should the commission want to recognize and celebrate International Women's Day in March 2025, an ad hoc committee should be formed to identify any stakeholders that the commission can partner with to organize such an event. This ad hoc committee would work with staff on planning an event and would come back to the commission at its next regular meeting to share the details of the event planned. Should the commission be interested in this proposal, staff recommends appointing no more than 2 commissioners to the ad hoc committee. The fiscal impact of this item is dependent on the direction of the commission and dependent on the event plan. The commission may set a potential not to exceed amount for this event or indicate that any costs would need to be absorbed by partner organizations. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
I have a question. How much was it last year? How much did we need to run this event or have this event last year? And did we have any partnerships with anyone?
We didn't have the event last year.
Didn't we have an event last year?
So I can clarify, you all have met
It was raining.
prior to around wanting to have an International Women's Day event. We did have an event that wasn't actually about International Women's Day per se, but happened to be at a similar time. So if you all wanted to move forward with an International Women's Day event that's specific to International Women's Day, that would be something new moving forward.
Oh, I apologize.
No, that's okay.
What was it? What was the event called last year? It was pouring rain. I remember that.
We did a panel and prior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was our partnership with Glendale Arts. And also actually around a similar time, we
It
had
was the
done the
same time.
report event. So
Yes, and that was
we were
pouring.
just very busy during this entire portion.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we could have a specific International Women's Day that also is around the March date event, which prior to my time here, if I understand, you all have considered before. So thank you.
Okay.
I know we considered it last year and appointed an ad hoc committee. And I think the timing was not great at the time, but now we have time. And I think the key would be to partner with another organization if possible, so that there's some sharing of the responsibilities. And I don't have a clear recollection, but it seems to me that we may have set not to exceed $1,000 or $2,000 last year, and I think that's what we should consider. That would be my thought now. It doesn't. I wouldn't think it would have to be more than $1,000 or $2,000, and that's not to exceed. So it might not even be that. But I think, given that we're the Commission on the Status of Women, and I think it would be great if we could, get our name out there in connection with some event recognizing that day.
This year, they had an event with the city of Glendale. They had an event at Glenmark Hotel. And there was, I remember the downtown businesses also had another event. So we may want to look into those potential entities or partner up with Glendale Arts. Again, there are lots of other organizations that we can look into and work with.
We can partner with Soroptimist organization as a women organization.
We could talk about that, but I think the focus would be on where there's an event already planned.
Okay.
But I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm just
No,
saying I think that would be, or in the planning stages, or an organization that's done it before. That's just my thought off the top of my head. But certainly, we obviously need an ad hoc committee to be working on it.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting idea, yeah. Any other comments or questions? Are we ready to make a motion? Does anybody want to make a motion? Do we need to make, we need to ask for volunteers for the ad hoc committee? Are there any volunteers? Well, I'll volunteer, but I'd rather not do it alone.
Okay.
Set up?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we've got our ad hoc committee, unless it's not approved by the commission. And then we need a motion to appoint Seta and myself to the ad hoc committee and decide if we want to allocate an amount not to exceed.
I can make the motion.
Okay, great.
Should I give the specific amount as well, not to exceed $2,000?
If that's the motion you want to make, then we'll
Yes.
vote on it.
I'm making a motion to appoint Chair Lamblot and
Commissioner said,
Commissioner Seda as part of the ad hoc committee for International Women's Day 2025 with a budget of not to exceed $2,000.
I'll second.
I guess we're ready for a roll call.
Commissioners Broussalian,
Yes.
Ojayan,
yes.
Tatians,
Yes.
Chair Lambalot.
Yes.
I'd like to make a comment.
Can we make,
Can I make a comment? Okay, thank you. Although I can't commit to being an ad hoc committee member because I'm so busy, but I will be an alternate and I will help as much as I can. So you can call on me.
Fantastic.
Okay?
are we, is there any allowance for alternates?
Not an
No,
alternate, but if like you need something or you need help, I'll be there.
only that for Brown Act purposes, then you'd have a third member and that you'd have a majority of this commission. And so if the three of you are going to meet, then we would have to post the agenda for that meeting.
I think what you're saying is you're willing to help, and that's wonderful. So if we are able to decide on an event, I'm sure we'll need help.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to meet necessarily, but to help out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we've got our ad hoc committee. Okay, next item, please.
Next item, 6B, request for the consideration of a yearly operating budget for the Commission on the Status of Women not to exceed $5,000. 1, motion to allocate an amount not to exceed $5,000 for the 2024-2025 fiscal year for the operating budget of the Commission on the Status of Women for use and furtherance of all approved commission programs, initiatives, including outreach and all logistical expenses.
This is
Madam Chair, Dr. Armin will be providing the staff report on this item.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bajan. Staff respectfully recommends that the Commission on the Status of Women approve a yearly operating budget not to exceed $5,000 to execute the goals of the CSW and the programming or initiatives of the ad hoc committees tasked with furthering the aims of the CSW 2023-2026 strategic plan. During the May 8th, 2023 Commission on the Status of Women meeting, the Commission approved the 2023-2026 strategic plan and appointed ad hoc committees tasked with executing each one of the 3 following aims outlined in the strategic plan: evaluation and assessment, policy development and advocacy, education, awareness, and outreach. The requested funds will be used to cover costs associated with events, translation, printing, promotion, and all outreach and logistical expenses of CSW-approved activities and initiatives. The City Clerk's Office will comply with all the city procurement procedures and policies when using these funds. I also want to state, so the fiscal impact of the operating budget, if you approve the motion as presented, is $5,000, up to $5,000. I want to note, this is the fund that if you at any point need anything outside of what you are passing per event. So you did approve this last year and helps us operationally. For example, let's say if someone needs to print our report, because right now we're out of English, the report on the status of women, this would be what that is for example. You all still, as we have done it in precedence, we come here and ask you, as the ad hoc are coming and you are building them, we have been asking for up to exceeds amounts per event. So I just want to say that, but just for clarity.
Can you clarify, does this include the 2,000 that we designated for the ad hoc? So this is in addition to, this is just kind of
And this is for the entire fiscal year, so that's what also helps us. So in between you all are meeting, when the ad hocs are meeting, at any point, especially like printed materials, operational costs that might not even be tied to one event in particular, this gives us a cap on that.
Where are
from
these
your
funds coming from?
These are coming from the CSW actual budget itself.
You're talking about our bank account.
Bank account. Oh.
And just to clarify, we already have that money in there. It's just a matter of allocating it to this particular fiscal year.
Correct. Staff does not move your money unless you approve it, so.
And we don't have an exact amount in the bank, but we do have a rough, yes. Thanks, Dr. Arman.
Sure, absolutely. I was going to speak to it if you all have questions, but I was also going to get to it in staff comments, but I'm happy to do so here. So I'm going to give a little disclaimer and then work with me until the end, okay? All right, so technically, currently, you have $74,982 currently in the bank. However, the city rectifies its budget in fiscal years, and the full accounting will be done by June 30th. It is likely based on staff's keeping track of how you all are doing so. You're likely at around $60,000 to $64,000 right now total.
But
I
that's
also want to note something. Oh, I apologize.
I was just say that's helpful to give us
Yes.
an idea of what we're working with, what we have to work with.
And also part of staff comments, which I should indicate, but I will say here now, as a wonderful surprise at the Glendale Women's Equality event, it was announced that the CSW is receiving $15,000 from Caruso for your committee. And staff is currently investigating what you all as a commission are allowed to spend it on, per se. The funding also has not appeared yet in your account, which is why I'm not going to add it to that number until it does. So, thank you.
Other comments, questions, need for clarification?
Question. You said 74,982, but then you said we have 64,000. I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Can you clarify that real quick?
Absolutely. So a lot of the costs that you all are incurring, which you're passing, have to do with city staff hours for your events or specific tasks within the city which don't get accounted for until the end of the year. So I'll give you an example. The graphics department that is doing your flyers, right, doesn't have readily available what you're spending. We do that at the end of the year. Or the staff hours for our Purple Tie Awards that just happened, right, for folks to set up the chairs for us, right? All those things are incurred costs. I also want to say, historically, the city clerk's office also has covered the CSW when necessary, if you've ever been above any of the limits that you have passed, so.
So those amounts haven't been charged, so they will be charged, and after they're charged, it'll be 64-ish and change.
Likely,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Do we have an idea of how much we've been spending in the previous years? Like, how did this 5,000 come about? Like, how did you decide to budget that amount? Has that been typically what we've been allocating per fiscal year or more or less?
Commissioner Tatians, this is based on on the cost that we incurred in the previous year. I do not have historic data at hand on how much the commission spent on operational costs, but that's something that we can get. That's information that we can get for the next meeting and present it if you like.
So 64,000 plus the 15 that hasn't been applied yet. How could the commission on the status of women make some more money and put some more in their account so we can do more?
I can speak to that historically at any rate, because when I first joined the commission for a partial term, it was at the time that the commission was no longer able to do fundraising. So these funds were primarily, I mean, there may have been some donations, but primarily they were raised over the years with the Jewel City Luncheon and I think some other fundraising events, if I'm not mistaken. So, but the commission, as I understood it, at that point, which was around 2015, 2016, was the fundraising aspect of the commission's duties was taken away. So we don't actually have a formal fundraising function, as I understand it.
Time when I was appointed, we used to do fundraisings, as you said, Jewel of Glendale.
So since we can't, there's no way to do anything like that unless people like Caruso say, hey, here's some money.
Also, Commissioner Bruselian, City Council has had discussions or mentions of potentially funding the operations of, or providing an operational budget for the Commission on the Status of Women previously. There has not been any formal council action on this, but that's something that my office can bring to council in the next fiscal year.
Okay, thank you.
And also, the amount has been around that number for many, many
Yeah.
years, because it's earning interest too. And, we give a few thousand here and there, so it's not been quickly expended, yeah. And obviously, but it's good to be aware of it, so we know how much we have, since it, is a semi-finite number under the current rules anyway. Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, would someone like to make a motion?
I can make a motion to approve as presented for the $5,000.
So that's alternative one.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Commissioners Brusalian,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Tatian,
Yes.
Chair Lambolat.
Yes. Thank you. And then we have another action item. Next item?
6C, co-sponsorship of Armenian Bar Association film event. 1, motion to co-sponsor Armenian Bar Association film event and approve up to $2,000 to cover the cost associated with hosting of the event.
Chair Lambolat, Dr. Armin will be providing the report on this item.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abajan. Staff respectfully recommends CSW provides direction on the potential co-sponsorship and potential funding of a film event with Armenian Bar Association. The Armenian Bar Association reached out and wishes to co-host a film screening of a film on survivors of abuse entitled And So I Stayed. And So I Stayed is an award-winning documentary by Natalie Patillo and Daniel A. Nelson about survivors of abuse fighting for their lives and spending years behind bars. This story is centered around how the legal system often does not support victims of abuse. It is a portrait of survivors whose strikingly similar stories are separated by over 30 years. The Armenian Bar Association was formed in 1989 to provide an arena for lawyers of Armenian heritage to come together socially and professionally and to address the legal concerns of the Armenian community. The Armenian Bar Association is requesting co-sponsorship, co-organizing, and funding for the event. The event will take place in 2025. Funding of up to $2,000 would be used for materials and logistics of the event. If the commission approves the motion as presented, the fiscal impact would be $2,000. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd just like one clarification. Is it up to $2,000? Okay. Any comments, questions?
Yes, and excuse me. I would also like to clarify, at any point, you all may present any number. It could be less than this, it can be more than this. That is up to the discretion of the commission.
And this number was arrived at because it was recommended by the Bar Association, or?
Yes, and due to an assessment of our own costs as events have been happening in the city.
Okay. I would just like to comment that I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us because of the subject matter and because of our mission and the fact that this is something that we're partnering with another organization again. So I think it's a terrific idea. That's my opinion.
Do we know what the funds will be used for? Are we renting like a theater, or like did they give an idea of what the funds would be used for?
If I may direct to city staff, we actually have a caller currently.
Yes, we have one call.
Okay. As of currently, those plans have not been communicated. However, our caller is from the Armenian Bar Association and can provide further details.
Is the film was prepared or they are going?
Apologies, one more time?
The abuse.
It's already,
It's already
Yes.
exists. Okay. Oh. No, I was asking about the film. It still exists or
It's an
it's an existing film? Yeah,
showing it.
showing, yeah.
I have a quick question. Is this our first time doing this with them, with the Armenian Bar Association? Like partnering
think
up with them
so.
for this?
So, yeah.
For this film, yes.
Okay, thank you.
we have one caller on the line. Marina Nanukian, you're on air. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. This is Marina Manukian. I'm a resident of the city of Glendale, a member of the Armenian Bar Association, and a member of the Bar Association's Domestic Violence Committee. And this is our suggestion to work together to present the film. It's called And So I Stayed, and it is a documentary regarding the legal system and the domestic violence victims who, to survive, sometimes get charged with crimes. And it's a new look of how that works and how wrong the system sometimes gets it. The costs, and I've overheard the commission talking about the cost. So the cost associated with the viewing of this, of course, the expert specialists who would be panelists would not be paid. There is a small fee for screening the documentary. The additional costs would be possibly to rent the chairs, the screening equipment, refreshments, possible advertising. But we would defer to city staff as to location. If there are locations that we don't have to pay for in order to present the documentary, that would be wonderful. But we're here ready to work with the commission to make this a reality, and we would like to do it maybe in February, which is also Dating Violence Awareness Month, to tie it into some sort of a subject matter for the month.
That's good.
If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
Any questions for our speaker? Thank you for that, by the way.
Did you say February of this coming year?
2025.
Yes, because that would give us enough time to organize it, and it also coincides with Dating Violence Awareness Month.
And we can get this done within that short period of time? That's like in 2 months.
But yes, because
Or 3 months, sorry.
yeah, 3 months. I think in terms of the panelists, we will have an easy time to get some panelists together. It's just a matter of selecting the location and advertising it.
Great, thank you.
I have a question. So it looks like you're going to play the film and then have a panelist discussing the film. Is that correct?
Not necessarily discussing the film itself, but the subject matter of the film and things surrounding domestic violence and help available to victims in terms of,
I think it's a great idea. Will you be trying to advertise to other attorneys who usually attend bar events, or would this be open to the public?
Oh, it would be open to the public, definitely. I would love to advertise it to the community and even through the social services within the city that serve domestic violence victims.
Yes.
Thank you. That would be great.
Zeta, any comment?
No, it's a great idea, I think, especially on February for Violent Awareness Month.
Yeah. Okay, do we have a motion by anyone? Okay,
I can make the first one, the first alternative. The commission may approve the motion as presented.
and I would just like the clarification that it's up to $2,000, not necessarily the full 2,000.
Can we ask them to provide us with a specific breakdown of the cost so that we know exactly, or we could just approve up to 2,000 and just give them the funds? How would that work?
I think we need to approve the motion now if it's in February, because our next meeting is in February. That's why we use the vehicle, I think, up to 2,000.
That sounds great.
So, but after the fact, I'm sure we could get a breakdown.
Thank you for clarifying. I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioners Brusalian,
Yes.
Kajoyan,
Yes.
Tatians?
Yes.
Chair Lambolat.
Yes. Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is 8, reports information only. A, update on Domestic Violence Awareness Month activities.
Chair Lambolat, Dr. Arman will be giving a report on our Domestic Violence Awareness Month activities together with the YWCA of Glendale and Pasadena.
Thank you.
This report is being provided as information only to the Commission on the Status of Women as an update on the activities held during Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This year, the CSW recognized October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month to raise awareness of domestic violence and to help prevent and eliminate violence within the city. The Commission participated in the following activities. On October 8th, 2024, CSW commissioners accepted a proclamation on behalf of the Commission on the Status of Women, together with the YWCA of Glendale and Pasadena, from the Mayor and City Council designating October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of Glendale. The Commission also participated in the Purple Lights Night by requesting that the lighting of City Hall with purple lights throughout the month of October honors domestic violence survivors. Purple is the symbolic color of domestic violence awareness. This goal is throughout the country in the United States. For the Purple Tie Awards this year, the CSW again partnered with the YWCA Glendale and Pasadena for their 6th annual Purple Tie Awards. These awards recognize men in the community who have worked to support domestic violence survivors and the elimination of violence against women and families in Glendale. The event was held on the front steps of City Hall. City Clerk Suzy Abajan provided a land recognition. Chair Diane Lambolat and COO of YWCA of Glendale and Pasadena, TC Kim, provided opening remarks, together with Mayor Ellen Asatrian and California Assemblymember Holden. Vahe Abramian of the Glendale Police Department was awarded as the Law Enforcement Advocate of the Year, and Senator Anthony Portantino, California's 25th State Senate District Representative, was honored as the Public Servant Advocate of the Year. I want to also note that this event was even more attended than last year, and we were at capacity on seats last year. So we seem to be growing in community engagement and community turnout. And just to end our staff report, I want to thank everybody who came out, and particularly the partnership with the YWCA staff that made this possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Arman. It was a great event, and it was first held on the city steps during the pandemic, and it stayed there, which actually has turned out to be usually a lovely, very cool evening. And the city hall is lit in purple, so we're also facing that. Any other questions or comments?
Yes. I'd like to thank both of you. Really, it's my deepest appreciation and thanks. They done a great job.
They certainly have.
Thank you. We're honored as always. Thank you.
Okay. We now have staff comments, is that right? Staff and commission comments?
Yes.
Staff comments. Okay, should we start with staff comments?
Sure. I'd like to give a short report on what we've been up to the past couple of months. I had the honor of attending and also facilitating a panel at the first Women's Equality Day celebration. The celebration was conceptualized and came to be through the efforts of Mayor Ellen Asatrian, the first Armenian woman council member and mayor of Glendale. Our very own Natalie Hovhannisyan, student ex officio commissioner, provided an inspiring opening remarks together with the mayor. The event had an impressive list of panelists, including Paula Adams, Chief Human Resources Officer of Glendale, and the only appointed woman as a department head. I'm also a department head, but I'm elected. Another panelist was Jennifer Palacios of the City of Glendale Procurement and Finance Department. And also we had our very own Dr. Sophia Arman as a panelist. There was also a networking and connecting time after the panel discussions. And the event was well attended, as you can see in the photographs that we've provided here. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to personally thank Dr. Arman. I was supposed to be a panelist, and I had a last-minute family emergency and was out of town. And so Dr. Arman stepped in and, by all accounts, did a fantastic job. So thank you so much for that.
If I may also speak to the Women's Equality Day, staff received extremely wonderful feedback about how Student Commissioner Natalie Hovhannissian did in the opening remarks. I want to say that it was actually overwhelming, the amount of comments that were said. And so we just want to thank our student ex officio members for consistently standing up and representing this commission and this city. And I think you all have been very, very active in the community thus far. So thank you.
If I may also add, it was really nice to see another student speaking about the importance of empowering girls, and she also had a project there where she had girls from across the school district write on Post-its about how they would describe women and their capabilities, and it was really inspiring. So it was a lovely evening, and I had an amazing time.
That's wonderful, and I second what Dr. Arman said about the student ex officios, both of you. These terms, you've really stepped out. It's been terrific, and I hope Natalie can tune in about 6 o'clock to this, to the recording of the hearing, so she can hear these comments. Okay. Anything else? Any other staff comments?
Chair Lemblot, would you like to say anything? And I can be after you. I do have comments, but I believe you might also say them, so.
Yes, I wanted to mention that on September 4th, Dr. Bajian and I made a presentation to the Pasadena Commission on the Status of Women at their monthly meeting. And we gave a short presentation on the report on the status of women and girls. And then there were a lot of questions about how we do what we do and what we would recommend to them as far as projects and goals and that sort of thing. It was a very warm reception, and we may even be able to collaborate at some point, but they were very complimentary and interested in what we do and how we do it. I think they're kind of getting their feet wet again. I'm not sure what happened to the commission in the past, but the members, and I think there are 10 members or 12 members, it's a big commission. And they've asked to keep in touch, so I'm sure we will continue to do that. But we really felt it was a useful and rewarding experience and hopeful collaboration at some point. Anything else?
Yes, then I do, if no other commissioners would like to speak. Okay. So yes, absolutely, just uplifting what Chair Lambalot said and City Clerk Abajian. I want to say that actually in these last few months, we've received many organizational contacts and outreach. I really want to say that part of Pasadena's outreach to us as the commission, to you all, they were incredibly impressed that you all passed the Equal Pay Pledge. And they seem to be investigating if they similarly could advise their city council or recommend to their city council that could be something. So I want to say they're looking directly to you, and it seems to be that the word is spreading across the state of what you all are doing. Secondly, at Women's Equality Day, I know I mentioned this a little bit briefly, but truly us speaking about the report on the status of women, us speaking about the commission's recent activities, had people like mobbing us with their contact information about how they can get involved, and also resulted in several people applying to the Commission on the Status of Women as well to serve as commissioners. As staff, I can't disclose exactly what that is, but we were able to refer people to actually applying because there was so much interest. So I just wanted to share that with you all. And then lastly, there was the racial justice breakfast that the commission was also represented by the chair, and the city clerk also came, which was YWCA's important annual event. So thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to echo again what Sona said about your efforts in even assembling these contacts and contacting them about our events and stuff, because the turnout's just been amazing and historically unmatched. So, and the type of events too. So appreciate it tremendously. It gives us a lot more, gives a lot more meaning to what we do, to be able to reach people that we haven't been able to before, or wouldn't normally be able to if we didn't have you doing what you're doing and holding these events. So thank you. Any other commission comments?
I just wanted to also give a shout out to the city manager's office, who was in charge of planning the Women's Equality Day event, and particularly staff from the CM's office. And so we collaborated with them. We were partners. We helped them, but they were the ones in lead of the Women's Equality Day event. And again, that was through the leadership of our mayor, Elena Sautran. So I just wanted to give them some props.
Thank you for pointing that out. It's terrific that we have their support. Okay, if we don't have anything else, I need a motion of adjournment.
A motion to adjourn?
Seconded.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned at 6:09 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.